Hi, everyone. This is Carmel with the Financial Tea. Today's topic, we're going to talk about driving while broke. So, anyway, I came across this post with this woman who was talking about how she basically had a 2015 car, made no mention about when she actually got the car. So, I have no idea how long she held on to the car. But nonetheless, she has 2 more years to go on payments for the car. And what eventually happened was that she wants to upgrade her car. And her husband turned around and said, no, your car is perfectly fine. There's no reason to go ahead and upgrade this. We've got goals we're trying to save for a house. So this brings us to the question, who's right? And of course, the husband is right. One of the things that I'm starting to see is our obsession in America with always having to have the newest and flashiest of cars. And the biggest thing you have to understand is, why was her husband right? If she turned around and she upgraded her car, then she would have still been on the hook for those 2 last years. Not like they just magically disappear the last 2 years of the car that's old magically disappears. What happens is that when you upgrade, they're going to go ahead and roll in those payments into the price of the new car. So what's going to happen is that even if you wind up getting a car that's significantly cheaper than what it is that you're paying now, the bottom line is, by the time the payments are rolled into it and then you tack on interest rates, then you're going to basically be walking around with a car that's not worth its value. And anybody who knows anything when it comes to finances and cars, the cars are basically not even really assets, they're liabilities. Why? Because the second that you drive off the lot, what happens to the value of a car? It depreciates. Like, literally depreciates. You could have spent $20-something thousand for a car, and 5 years down the line, the car may be worth $5,000. So one of the things that I see happen time and time and time again to people is that need to go ahead and upgrade every 3 years, every 5 years, every 2 years, etc. for a new car. And you have to ask yourself, do you want to be stuck in this perpetual system of payments, meaning that you're always making payments on a car? Now, I know what some of you may be saying. Well, there's nothing wrong with it if you can afford it. Absolutely true. But here's a problem. Research shows that most Americans can't really afford it. Why do I say this? 48% of Americans, guess what, do not have a retirement. They have no money set. And when I say 48% of Americans, I mean 48% of Americans who are age 55 and older have nothing saved for retirement, okay? Absolutely nothing. And then those who do have something saved for retirement is nowhere near enough that they need to basically retire. So that's a big problem. People are spending their time upgrading cars and not putting enough into their retirement. Let's talk about the student loan crisis that's going, right? How many people have children who are basically going to colleges and don't have any money, to go ahead and spend for their children for colleges now, and putting themselves in a position, or their children in a position, where they have to take out student loans or Parent Plus loans for their kids. That's a problem. It's one thing if you can afford the car, but it's another thing when, hey, the college tuition is not taken care of for the child. And then boom, you're sitting up here upgrading your car every few years. Imagine what that $300 or $400 payment would equate to, especially if invested over time while you were trying to raise it for your child or for your retirement. So when we talk about savings, 61% of Americans do not even have $1,000 or more in their savings account. So 61%, do we not understand that? Is that not mind-blowing? 61% of Americans do not have $1,000 in their savings account. So that means that they have nothing for an emergency fund. So that means when an emergency comes, and trust me, they always come, and usually at the most inopportune times, then that means that in essence, 61% of Americans are either screwed because they don't have a way to take care of their emergency, or they're doing what? They're charging, using those high interest credit cards to go deal with those problems and getting themselves into a further financial hole. So here, what I'm trying to tell you, and to recap, is that in the end, having a new car and a nice car is definitely something nice, and something that people it's okay for people to want. It's totally understandable. I'm not here to knock it and say that people shouldn't want, something nice, especially when they work hard, they want to enjoy the fruits of their labor. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that we have to start getting our priorities together. And hubby was 100% right. He recognized that, look, we've got bigger goals. We're trying to buy a new house. It doesn't make sense that we want to put all of our money into what we're driving when we've got more things to do and we've got this perfectly good car sitting right here. And to those of you who, like I said, already have your homes, then I'm quite sure that there's other worthy goals that you would definitely love to reach. So you want to make sure that you start prioritizing those things. And once all of those things are taken care of, rock out with your new car. Second thing I just want to say, importance of being on the same financial page. It's a good thing she had a husband who at least brought her back to a reality and brought her back to her senses, as opposed to a husband and say, yeah, babe, let's go get matching new cars. And then you are both walking around with these cars later on that either you can't afford, which is a whole nother topic for another day. I'll talk about that another time, or later on you're seriously both regretting it during your retirement years, college years for your kids, and the list goes on and on. Okay, so that's it. This is the Financial Tea. If you like this video, please click like, subscribe, share this video out to others so that they can learn and enjoy it as well.